Hello, welcome to Rag Rugs by Erin. I'm Erin Halvorsen and thank you for joining me. Today we're going to be talking about how to make a crochet heart rag rug, and here's one example. So this is what we're going to be shooting for, and the next one the other one that we're working on, and we're going to refer to this rug, is this pink one. So we're going to be talking about how to start this, how to increase the stitches, how to maintain the stitches at the same width, and how to decrease the stitches, how to find the center point, and how to decide how to start these lobes. So we'll be covering several different things and also how to finish it. So we've got a lot of things to cover, and we'll probably have a few episodes, a few parts that we'll have to keep referring to. So let's go ahead and jump right in and get started. Of course, we use sheet yarn when we're making this. And on my videos, I have several videos telling you how to make sheet yarn, how to make no-sew sheet yarn, and no-sew sheet yarn tips. So here we go. I want to go over the tools as I always do. This is an N or an O is the size that I usually use. Okay, 10 millimeter. This is a tapestry needle, and you can see that large hole there. Please don't buy a plastic one, you've heard me say, because they tend to fall apart. It's very easy to thread. Sometimes they call them yarn needles. You'll need that to finish. And then a good pair of scissors is always important. Actually, I'm thinking I need to sharpen mine soon. So let's go ahead and jump right in. I already have the sheet yarn already started and made. And I've been using a bowl a little bit more often, a heavy bottom bowl. Because this thing tends to roll around, and if it's a heavy bottom bowl, it doesn't tend to roll away from you. So let's go ahead and get started. So Mr. Cameraman, let me move this out of your way. We're going to start with a slip knot. You're going to take the longer end, cross over, and pull it through the longer end. Make sure you leave your tail long enough, because we'll show you how to finish it. And it's hard to thread it if it's too short. A lot of times I incorporate it in. In this one, I don't think it looks as nice. There's too much bulk in the area, so I'm going to avoid doing that. We'll finish it at the end, and I will show you how to do that. So after you get your slip knot, you're going to put your crochet hook in here. You could use a Q if you feel like, which is a bigger crochet needle, if you need a bigger handle to hold on to, or if you have arthritis or problems with your hands. You're going to hold the short end, the short material, along with your needle, and we're only going to do 4 chain stitches. Okay, so cross over and pull through, 1, cross over and pull through, 2, cross over and pull through, 3, and we're going to do the 4th one. That's all we're going to do to start this one. Okay, then we're going to flip our work, because we always work right to left. And we're not going to go into the stitch that we're already in. Matter of fact, I'm going to do it this way. I don't like the way it's twisted. We're not going to go into the hole that we're in. See, this is the stitch that we're in, the hole that we're in right there. We're not going to go into that. Here's your 3 stitches that we're going to use. 1, 2, 3. We're going to go into those holes. In order to do a single crochet, I'm going to do this fairly quickly because I show on another video how to make a single crochet, and I also show on many of my other videos as well. So you're going to place your hook into the hole. You're going to cross over and pull the material through. Now you have 2 strands of sheet yarn on here, 1, 2. Cross over and pull them both through. Okay, you're going to go back into the same hole because this is how the increase starts. On the ends, you're going to go back into the same hole. So you're going to go back into that same hole, grab your material just like you did the first single crochet. This is another single crochet. Cross over and pull them both through. So you have 2 in that hole. The center stitch, you're going to do 1 single crochet into that hole. And then the end one, because this is the end, this right here is not the end stitch. This is the hole that you're going to go into. So you're going into the hole. We're going to do 2 in this one as well. Cross over and pull it off. That's 1 in that hole. We're going to go back in and do another single crochet, grab it, Okay, now you have 5 stitches across. At the end of every single row, whether we're adding or decreasing or staying the same, you're going to do 1 chain stitch. So this will never change. You're going to do crossover and pull it through. That's 1 chain stitch. And then you flip your work. Yeah. Okay. Okay. You are going to then do 2 stitches into your first hole. Okay, here's your first hole. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're going to be using this right here. 5. In the beginning one and the ending one, we're going to do 2 single crochets. Back into the same hole. Now in the rest of them, except for the last one, we're going to do just 1 single crochet. I'm going to try to go along fairly quickly to keep this moving for you. Sometimes you're going to get your finger in there to find it. Now this is the part that took me a while to figure out how to do. Here, see these loops right here? This doesn't almost look like a stitch, but you're going to go into there and you're going to do your 2 single crochets into this hole as you increase. So go in. Sometimes if you're a tight crocheter, you're going to find that to be a bit of a challenge. I know I did, so you're going to have to just, really force it. So that's 2 single crochets. Okay, and this is how it starts off. Now you're going to do 1 chain stitch and you're going to flip your work. Again, we're going to do it one more time. Here's your first hole. You're going to do 2 single crochets into your first hole. So there's 1 and 2. The rest of these will have just single crochets into those holes as you go across. I'm going to be trying to move along quickly so I can show you the important parts, which are the ends and the transition places. I do this type of stitching a lot slower on how to make an over rug, crochet over rug 101. That is done in a slower fashion, and it's really geared towards the beginner. Also, this flipping thing is in my video that shows how to make a rag rug of many colors. Also shows this in more detail in a slower fashion if you'd like to see that. Okay, so here we are again. Kind of see how I had to kind of stick my fingers down in there? This is where you're going to put your 2. There's 1 single crochet and another single crochet. And again, you get to the end and you do 1 chain stitch. That never changes. And you flip your work. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to pretend that we are at this place. Okay, we're actually down here, and you're just going to continue on. And I did 25 rows. Feel free to do more. If you want to do more to make this a bigger rug, you can see how big this rug is. I just chose that size. You could do 30 if you wanted, or 40 if you wanted. Okay. Then this has 5 rows is what I did of the same height, because you want to have that little fullness right there. You could do 3 to 8 or 9 probably if you made a bigger rug. So I'm going to show you the technique for keeping it the same so you know how to do that. Okay, so let's show you the technique to keeping it the same. So you're going to go into that one hole, the first hole, 1 time. So you're going to just do 1 in every hole. except at the end it's a little bit different. So continue to watch. Be patient. Just one in every hole. This was a very fun rug to make. However, it is not one that you should attempt the very first time if you're a new crocheter. I would suggest that you do my runner rag rug of many colors or the oval crocheted 101 rug. Those are more simplistic to start off with, and then you could go to this. If you're already a crocheter, that would be fine. You could go ahead and start with this. Alright, so here we go. We're keeping it the same. And we just go into that hole right there. And we do just one instead of two. We do the chain up, flip our work, and go right back in to that one hole right there. Okay, I'm going to just do like 2 more stitches and show you what it looks like. Okay. So that was the point, how you started the point. This is how you keep it the same. You would do like 5 rows. How you're counting your rows, I'm going to show you. We're going to switch over to the other rug, and I'm going to show you a couple things on that. Okay. So this was 25 rows before we went to that part that I just showed you that was just keeping it the same. How you count your rows is like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. See how I've done that? 8. And that's how you figure out how many rows you've done. You want to have 25. In order to have a decent sized rug, I wouldn't do any less than that, but you may want to do more. Okay, so I'm going to then show you how to figure out how to decide on where to start your lobes, your upper lobes. When I started, Mr. Cameron, I think I need you on this side. Thank you. I counted each hole is what I counted. Okay, so I counted the holes across. And I ended up with 53 holes coming across here. Now, if you come up with 54 somehow, or something like that, there's no problem. I'm going to tell you how to do it if it's an odd or an even. If it's odd, it really works out better, in my opinion. You're going to count 50, half of 53 is actually 26 and a half. So in the 27th hole, I went ahead and took a safety pin and marked it, or a chain marker. I marked it right here so I know where to stop. Okay? So I went ahead and started. No, I started right here actually. I didn't start right here. I continued on. That's right. I'm going to show you another. I continued on with the color I was using. I got to the end of these straight rows. I came across doing it just like we had talked about, and I did my final stitch in this hole. Okay, so when you have an odd number, you're going to start right there again, which I'm going to show you in just a moment, how to start your next row with adding a color when you don't have the strip that you're already working with. Okay, and then I'm going to show you how to reduce as well. So, Mr. Cameraman, how many minutes are we at?
14.
14. Okay, we're going to stop right there then, and when you come back for part 2, I'm going to show you how to start the lobe, the second lobe, and also show you how to reduce the stitches and see if we can get to the finishing actually of it as well. That might go into a third part, but we'll see if we can do it in 2. So thank you, and I appreciate you viewing. Have a good day.